Now class 12 we'll be talking about the last topic of chapter number 4, that is factors affecting elasticity of demand. Children, price elasticity of demand is different for different commodities. It is important to know why demand for some commodities or some goods is more elastic while the other is less elastic. There are many factors which determine the elasticity of demand, and the main factors are as follows. Children, you can see this in the slide. There are many more factors which affect the elasticity of demand, and the first is nature of the commodity. Second is availability of close substitute. Third, number of uses. Then proportion of total expenditure spent on the product. Then level of income of the consumer. Then habit. Then time period. Then consumer expectations about future prices and income. And the last is population. Children, usually 6 marks question comes from this topic, so you can prepare any 6 which you find easy. But I am explaining you all the topics, right? All the points, all the features which affect price elasticity of demand. Children, you remember in the last chapter we have discussed about factors affecting demand. And here we are talking about factors affecting elasticity of demand. So don't get confused when you are taking your examination. Read question paper carefully whether they are asking you about the factors affecting elasticity of demand or they are asking you about the factors affecting demand. So these two are different questions. Today we are discussing about factors affecting elasticity of demand. So children, the first factor is nature of the commodity. An important determinant of elasticity of demand for a commodity is nature of the commodity itself. If the commodity is a necessity of life, its demand will not change much, like medicine. When its price change, hence the elasticity of demand will be low. For example, demand for salt, demand for medicine. So, is nearly, or you can say demand for water, etc. is nearly perfectly inelastic. That is, no change in demand irrespective of changes in price. The demand for luxury goods like AC, big size color television, mobile phones, cars, or any type of luxury goods, on the other hand, is having elastic demand. Elastic means whenever price is changing, we are changing the demand for goods and services. When the price of air conditioner increases, some people may not purchase air conditioners. So you can say that whenever there comes a change in the demand because of change in price, then the demand is elastic. Suppose if price is changing, still demand is not changing, then you can say that it's a case of inelastic. Fine, you can see this in the slide. Necessity goods like bread, butter, roti, chapatis, etc. Comfort, fridge, TV, AC, car, and luxuries. So you can say necessities have less elastic demand, comforts have elastic demand, and luxuries has more elastic demand. Children, I hope you have understood elastic and elastic. Elastic means when changes are coming because of change in price. When changes in demand are coming because of change in the price of particular commodity, then it is called elastic. And the reverse of this, the vice versa of this is called inelastic. That is when changes in demand are not coming because even though price of the commodity is changing. Getting my point? So in the case of nature of commodity, you will be talking about all the three type of goods, and you know that types of goods are necessary, comfort and luxury. So necessary goods have less elastic demand, comforts have elastic demand, and luxuries has more elastic demand. Right children? Coming to the second determinant, second factor affecting elasticity demand is availability of close substitute. You know substitute, the goods which are demanded one at a time. Yes, the common example is tea or coffee. You can see in the slide. Fine. So, if close substitute of goods are readily available, if the price elastic demand will be more elastic. I repeat, if close substitutes of goods are easily available, its price elastic demand will be more elastic. It is because an increase in the price will make consumer to shift over the substitute good easily. For example, demand for cold drinks like Coke, Pepsi, Limca, etc. is highly elastic because of availability of close substitute. On the other hand, demand for petrol, demand for salt, demand for water is usually inelastic because consumer have no option to buy the goods by the given good. For example, electricity you can say, take the most common example. There is no better substitute of electricity is available. So the demand for electricity will be inelastic. But there are more options for cold drink. There are many more companies who are selling mobile phones. So the demand for these will become elastic. So children, you can see in the slide it is also written that good having number of close substitute will have elastic demand. If more substitute, more elastic demand is. But the good with no close substitute will have inelastic demand. Right children? As you say that when you find options, you always say that I will be doing this, I will not be doing this. But suppose if you don't have any option, then definitely what you do? You don't change your demand. So you stick to the one. In that case, the demand becomes inelastic. Right children? Coming to the third factor, number of uses of the commodity. Children, number of uses of the commodity, goods which can be put to several uses like electricity, milk, etc. will have more elastic demand in comparison to the goods having limited use. For example, when the price of the electricity rises, its uses will be made only for important uses and the demand will be contract, that is demand will decrease. On the other hand, if the price falls, it will be put even to less important uses and its demand will expand, or you can say increase. So goods having less number of alternative uses like toothbrush, school uniform, NCERT books, your textbooks, etc. will have inelastic demand. And when the more availability or more alternative uses of the goods are there, then the demand for those goods becomes more elastic. Now children, you can see this in the slide. More the number of uses of commodity can be put to more elastic is the demand and vice versa. Right? Coming to the fourth point. Now in the fourth point, the proportion of income spent on the consumer. Elasticity of demand for a commodity depends upon the portion of the income which the consumer spent on it. Smaller the portion of income spent on the commodity, the smaller will be elasticity of demand and vice versa. For example, the demand for soap, the demand for salt, matchbox, etc. is highly inelastic since the consumer spends a very small portion of the income on them. When the prices of such commodity rises, it will not make much difference in consumer budget and therefore they will continue to buy almost the same quantity of the commodity. Hence, the demand for these goods will be inelastic. On the other hand, the demand for the goods, those which are expensive, on which we spend a large portion of our income, for example, furniture, clothes, etc., likely to be elastic since the consumer spends a large fraction of his income on these goods. A change in the prices will have considerable effect on the budget of the consumer and therefore will affect his demand to great extent. So, in other words, you can see in the slide it is written the quantity on which consumer spends a very small portion of the income like toothpaste, book, polish, newspaper, needle, etc. will have inelastic demand. On the other hand, the goods on which the consumer spends a large portion of the income like clothes, scooter, furniture, fine, TV, car, etc. the demand will be elastic. Right children? Now coming to the next point, proportion of total expenditure spent on the commodity. If a very small portion of the income is spent on the good, its demand is likely to be inelastic. The demand for newspaper, the matchbox, shoe polishes, etc. are examples of such good. Price changes of such good does not affect the budget of the consumer. So it's more or less the same. Suppose if we are spending more or if we are incurring a large expenditure on purchase of some commodity, then definitely the demand will be elastic. And suppose if we are spending a small portion of our income and we are taking on small amount of expenditure on the commodity, definitely the demand will be inelastic. So you can see larger the proportion of total expenditure spent on the good, higher will be the elasticity and vice versa. Right children? Coming to the next point, habit. Children, this point is very important, so listen very carefully. Habit also plays a role in determination of elasticities. For example, if the person has developed the habit of drinking, he may not be able to reduce his consumption of wine. Even when the price of wines goes up, the demand for wine will be inelastic. Some people are in the habit of doing consumption of cigarettes, or they do smoking, or they do drink. So similarly, these are the examples in which the habit plays an important role. So it is written in the slide also, you can see some products which are not essential for some individuals are essential for others. If individuals are habitual or habituate of some commodities, the demand for such commodities will be usually inelastic. because they will use them even the price goes up. For example, smoker, I told you, chain smoker, a cigarette, a person who is consuming cigarette or smoking cigarette or doing smoking, so generally does not smoke less when the price of cigarette goes up. If you are habituate or if you are habitual of consuming a particular commodity, the elasticity will be less and vice versa. Fine. And in this case, no price effect follows, that is, price goes up or price goes down, they are in the habit of consuming something, so they will do consume it irrespective of the price change. Right, children? Coming to the next point, that is time period. Children, if the price of the product rises, consumer will search for the cheaper substitute. But the longer the period they have, the more likely they are able to find the one. Demand will therefore be price elastic in long run, and in short run, on the other hand, demand will be less elastic. The consumer may not be able to reduce the consumption of the good immediately because they are in the habit of a product. So in short run, we can say the demand is less elastic, and in long run, the demand becomes more elastic. Right, children? You can see this in the slide also. It is written, during short period of most of the commodities have less elasticity of demand. In long run, when substitutes are available, demand for goods will become more elastic. Is that clear to you, children? So the last point, we come to the last point of the factors affecting elastic demand, and that is consumers' expectations about future prices and income. If the consumer believes that the price of good will be higher in the future, he or she is more likely to purchase the goods now. If the consumer expects that his or her income will be higher in the future, the consumer may be buying goods now. Point is that suppose if we expect that there is further fall in the price of the commodity, then demand becomes more elastic today. And suppose if we expect that there will be rise in the price of the commodity in the near future, then also demand becomes inelastic. Demand becomes elastic, right, children? So we can say that on the basis of the following factors, we talk about the elasticity and inelasticity of demand, and you have to read any 5 factors affecting elasticity. I have explained you all, but you will be preparing only 5 or 6. So children, in this way, the concept of elastic and inelastic in relation to the factors affecting elasticity of demand is clear, I hope. So it is written, if demand is not sensitive to the price, it is price inelastic. If demand is becoming sensitive to the price, it is price elastic. Right, children? So which goods are likely to be having inelastic demand? Suppose if the small portion of income is spent on the commodities, if few substitutes of the goods are available, if the person is adductive to the good, if the heavily, like suppose there are heavy brands. So you can see in the slides I have mentioned all the points. Right, children? So in this case, we come to an end of chapter number 4, that is elasticity of demand. Children, you will be preparing this chapter today only. This chapter is also very important because from second chapter and fourth chapter, the question comes in combination. So prepare these 2 chapters very honestly, and please do assignments so that you understand the concepts. Right, children? That's all for today. Thank you so much.